Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite, and I'm going to do a quick little market scan because I haven't done one in a minute. I actually moved apartments and it was absolutely hectic and crazy. So now I am back, or I'm in my place and I'm set up almost. I don't have a camera, but I'm going to, get to this and do this anyway. So this is couple things that I want to start off on is the total market cap. And basically, I'm just going to go through a lot of different things like total and BTC and ETH BTC and ES and all these other things, right? So let's start off on the total market cap. So the entire market cap of crypto, it's sitting at $1.121 trillion right now. And that is actually just about the last place where it was before it fell back in August of 2022. So that's not really that good because it dropped about 36 to 37% last year. And that was between August, September, October, and then November. This is when the FTX thing happened. Boom. And then finally, it starting in January is when it got this pump up. So it had a really, really nice pump up for the total market cap from the 2020/2021 yearly close/open plus the 2018 top you could see right there. So that's good. And now we're back up here. So looking at the total market cap, it's a little hard to say. It's a little hard to say because typically it's like, okay, well, obviously this is the resistance. And so now the total market cap of crypto should fall down a little bit because this is the resistance. The only thing that I'm thinking though is that if there is, enough bullish momentum and enough money is flowing into crypto due to, say, the Fed injecting more money into the system and maybe people flocking to Bitcoin for more of a safe haven or just any other reason, this could obviously just move up. But what I'm looking at is, or what I'm seeing is this. I'm seeing this right here is technically the weekly bearish order block, right? So it's the up move before the down move that continued to break market structure. So this is really the area to short. And maybe if we go to the daily, there's a difference right there. Yeah, so it's pretty much this. It hasn't hit it yet. It hasn't actually hit this. It's still, up here. So this price action is what are you supposed to do with this? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's consolidating underneath resistance. Technically, that's bullish. So it's really difficult to tell with the total. One thing that I do like is the fact that we have this weekly wick down here, this weekly extremely bullish weekly candle. And then the next week, obviously, we had the actual bullish candle. That's typically very bullish. So technically speaking, we're in an uptrend. We had this giant move up, which broke the market structure, slight pullback, another break in the market structure, slight pullback, and then a hugely bullish candle followed by another bullish market structure break. So now if we do come back down, we still are bullish. We are in a bullish market right now. And until let's go to the daily. I guess this right here, unless we close underneath here, we're still technically in a bullish market. So I would still be looking for longs pretty much. And that's the total market cap. So now let's look at the dominance levels. So let's look at the altcoin dominance, right? So let's look at altcoin dominance. So altcoin dominance just had this massive drop in altcoin dominance. And because Bitcoin, so much money just flew into Bitcoin, right? So we have this huge move down on altcoin dominance. And what typically happens is that we have a huge move down on altcoin dominance, followed by a move up, or we have a move down into this area, this zone down here, and then we have a move up in alts. But the thing is, I do remember, I think it was right around here. I think this was the time when altcoin dominance was going up, but Bitcoin was still outperforming. Like, it was really weird. It was really weird what was happening. But typically, when you have this chart, it represents altcoin dominance. And typically, when altcoin dominance goes up, Bitcoin dominance, well, obviously Bitcoin dominance goes down, but also altcoins tend to move up in value. So good area to long alts is right down here. We haven't gotten that yet, but you know, if we do come down here, this has shown to be consistently an area that the altcoin dominance bounces from. And if we're going to take into account the fact that, typically speaking, when altcoin dominance bounces, altcoins bounce and altcoins go up, then it's coming down, and we only have 2% more, which on 2% on the altcoin dominance chart or the dominance chart, it could be a lot of money, right? But it's not like 2%, in Bitcoin, or 2% in like Ethereum, or 2% in alts or whatever. This is like, this is dominance. So this 2% could still be like could still sort of be a lot, but I'm getting to be like, I would think that altcoins should start outperforming Bitcoin soon, like soon enough, like within, let's say like maybe a week from now, we have a few more days, and let's say we have like 6 days or something, and it comes down here. All right, well then, technically speaking, you'd want to get into alts. So this total market cap is looking bullish. Altcoin dominance is coming into support. So yeah, I wouldn't mind getting into alts. Like, and that's like the thing. We have to think about like when to get into alts, when not to get into alts. And just as a contrast, this is Bitcoin dominance, and let's go to the weekly chart. So we're the Bitcoin dominance, and typically what happens with Bitcoin dominance is that when Bitcoin dominance starts to fall, that is when the bull market happens. So this was the bull market. This entirety was the bull market. And then this was the bear market, the first bear market. And then this was the second half of the bull market for Bitcoin and Ethereum and the other coins that like went up in value while this was going down, right? And then this is November-ish of 2021. Like, this is when the bear market started. So pretty much this has been the entire bear market. It's been up and down and up and down and up and down. But typically speaking, when this goes down, it's bullish for crypto. So it's coming to be like, it's pretty high, and it's probably gonna start turning over soon. So okay, I'm bullish with the total, and I am bullish with the dominance levels. Let's look at the dollar. Okay, so we have the dollar. What is going on with the dollar? Typically, when the dollar goes down, crypto goes up, and pretty much starting right around here, the dollar was going down this entire time, but crypto was not going up, and this was probably because of FTX. But then eventually, probably starting right around here-ish, the dollar continued to go down and crypto continued to go up. And then, let's see, February and March, January 30th. So February, yeah, basically all of February, it was going up. And what was Bitcoin doing? All of February. Yeah, so this is not completely correlated. This is not totally correlated, to be honest. Typically speaking, when the dollar goes down, Bitcoin goes up. and when the dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down. But this is not 100% correlated yet, or right now. But it is. If we go to the daily, though, you can see that the dollar is heading down, and it's just continuing to have bearish market structure break right there, retrace, followed by a move down and another bearish market structure break right there. Probably going to be a retrace, and then possibly another move down and another bearish market structure break down here to the back down to the downside to get to, you know, between 100 and 101 before turning around. If it comes down here, though, I'll probably want to get out of crypto if it comes down here. So let me actually do this and type this in here. Okay, so basically I wrote that if the dollar comes down here, then it will probably bounce, and you should just sell everything when the dollar comes down here, just to be on the safe side. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do, is like if the dollar does come down here and let's say crypto goes up, then I would want to just sell everything and get out. One thing, though, obviously that you could see right here is that it is now down below the 200-day moving averages and exponential moving average. So that's pretty good for crypto, but I just don't really want to, I don't know. I just don't want to be in crypto if it comes back down here. So let's actually get into Bitcoin now. Okay, so now let's jump into Bitcoin. Just look at the monthly chart first, and this is, I wrote out like so many different things, right? So this is pretty fucking crazy. I wish that I would have just done this, but I wrote back here, you know, possible length of the market cycle based on previous lengths, top to bottom, which is 365 days, and that ended up actually being the very, very, very close to the bottom. So that was $17,000, and so that's interesting. So possibly the bottom is in, because if we look back and we see 365 days here, we see 365 days here from the top to the bottom, and we see 608 days from here to here. So this one took 608 days, okay? But from here to here, 396 or 608, depending on which you see, whichever one you want to use, because this was 608, this was 365, and now we have the new one, which was 365 as well. And it's like, okay, well, was that the bottom? There's so much uncertainty. It's like it's impossible. You just can't say it, right? Regardless, though, what I do know is that whenever the bottom is formed, I'm going to use this strategy, this halving strategy, where they talk about the number of days from the previous bottom to halving being equal to the number of days from the halving to the next top. This I am absolutely going to use, and it actually ended up working out. Look, October 2021 was supposedly the next top, and it ended up being in November of 2021. So that's actually insane, to be honest. So yeah, I sort of wish that I did this beforehand, but it is what it is. Anyway, so we have the monthly chart, and let me get rid of these things. And we are above the 2017 high. And, you know, but when we were below there, like starting right here, we're basically between this range, and this here and here, these two places. So now that we are above this orange line right here, these 2017 highs, and we're above this support area, I mean, this is pretty much like, this would be the lowest that I would want it. Obviously, like, I can't just say, oh, this, I mean, I can say 20,000, you know, $20,000 is the lowest that I'd want to see. If it falls below 20,000, then, you know, I better get out. But it's like, no, you want to get out way before then, because this is a 33% drop, right? So, but with saying that, like, the fact that we are above here, super good. Like, that's very bullish. And maybe it's not super bullish, for instance, like we're going to go up, but it's bullish to the fact that we are now like in this range, and maybe we do that. I have no idea, but we are above here, and that's what I like. What I don't like, obviously, is the fact that we are coming into this area right here, which is the yearly open and close for 2020 and 2021. So if we could go to the 12 month, you could see that this is where January 2020, sorry, something just happened with my mic. But yeah, this is where 2020 closed. This is where 2021 opened. And so that's a pretty big level, if you ask me, not to mention the 38.2 fib. So if we go back to the monthly, let's see if we take the Fibonacci from this range, this top to this bottom, 38.2 is, right around here at 27,980. So basically 28,000. And yeah, so some resistances right here. And if we go to the weekly chart, you can see that we had the giant move up last week. So that was really good. And this moved 30%. So 30% up, 31% move up in 1 week. So March 13th. Now and it moved right into the resistance. So the major, so the support slash, yearly open slash close plus the 78.6 retracement of the high plus the 38.2 of the major expansion. So yeah, now that I'm looking at this, I sort of want to exit my crypto positions, because this looks like it's going to retrace, right? Like, when do we get a 32% move up without a retracement? This one was only 23%. So this was the biggest weekly candle move in a very long time, 30% in 1 week. And now it looks like we're going to get a doji, and this in the resistance. I mean, why wouldn't Bitcoin just fall down next week at least, I don't know, 8%? Let's see. If we take the Fibonacci from the weekly open to close, why wouldn't it come down to 26,000? If it maybe 25,200. It just seems like it's what it would do in these conditions. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, let's look for another example. We get something like this, 31% move up, followed by a doji, followed by another move up, followed by a doji, followed by, continuation up over the next few months. And this is possible to happen, exact sort of like what happened back here could happen right now. But I don't know. Nothing's ever the same. It's not the same circumstances, right? So one thing that I do like, though, one thing that I do really like is that this was basically the range for quite a while. And then since June 2022 to November 2022, and then it broke down below it, and then it reclaimed it, right? So this was a deviation back into this range from here to here, right? And now we are breaking back above it. I mean, we broke above it, so why not come back down, retest it, something like somewhere right around here, and then move up, move up from there. That just seems like the more probable situation if we're going to continue to move up. I do like how we moved up, but honestly, if we fall back below, this right here, like say 25,000, that would be really, really bad, because then we would go back into this range, and then we would probably see the bottom of this range, right? But now we're in a whole new one. Now we're in a whole new range. Or you could also do this, say that this was the range from here to here, and we broke below it and then deviated back above it, and now we're somewhere in this premium zone, right? And then this area right here is going to be the order block. But I don't know, the way that I'm looking at it is that the total market cap looked pretty bullish. The altcoin dominance looked pretty bullish, which is, indicative that there's, going to be some bullish momentum. We are in a resistance area. So I think that the most probable thing is that we move down and then we move back up. I think that's probably what's going to happen. If we go down to a lower time frame, you could see that this right here, or this whole area, was pretty much a range, and then finally we had a move up before a move down that broke this market structure down here and created this whole new range down there. So this right here, this move up, this is the bearish order block. So we haven't reached it yet, and you would think that we would come up to tag it, but since we haven't yet, and the RSI is moving down, the stochastic RSI is pretty high up. The MACD looks decent, because hopefully we'll get a M, So yeah, man, there's like literally everything is conflicting right now. And if you want to be like the most technical with it, what you could do, you could just say this. You could just say that this right here is the bullish OB before, and it needs to come down, tag it, and then move back up. Look at it on the 12-hour. Yeah, something like this. And this is literally just saying, okay, my overall thesis is leaning towards the bullish side, but we might get a dip down first to tag this before we move back up. This also does actually coincide with like this whole support resistance area. So if we do come back down here, it would be a pretty decent long, to be honest. Stay long at 25K, and then and then target somewhere up here. I mean, the first target would be 28,800, but then the next target could be somewhere up here. Yeah, and so I actually have to run now. I have to run out, but this was just a quick market update, very quickly. As you could tell, things are extremely confusing, and so I'm going to have to do a much bigger, broader market update soon, probably on Monday, probably on Wednesday, because I am still moving and I have to go back and forth to Miami and some other places and figure a bunch of things out right now. Also, taxes and all that stuff, right? So this is pretty much what I think is going to happen. One thing that I do want to say though is that if you do look on a weekly time frame, remember how I said like this was the big range. If we do fall back below here, you know, let's say $24,600 or something like that. If we fall back below here, which also lines up with the 50% of this move, and we don't immediately just spike back up, then you know, I'm going to literally just short it and then target 14K or something like that. Because if we fall back below this deviation after a huge spike up, when we were in this huge range for, what is this? Let's check, like pretty much 266 days, you know, and then we busted out of it, we should not come back down to go back below it. And if we do come back down to go back below it, it's going to be a deviation, and that's just like would be absolutely horrible. So I would short it, I would sell everything, short it, and move back down here. But for now, obviously things are still bullish, and I'm looking to, you know, move up into this order block right here at least, and then probably you know, sell off some. But technically speaking, we could come up all the way up to here, because we never actually did come back up after we you know, had this drop. We never came back up to this 37,500 level, and so that's a possibility. But right now, at least for my trades, I am, you know, just simply, I'm probably gonna do this, and then if we do come back down here, just I'm selling everything. So yeah, that's pretty much the game plan. I'm gonna make a big comprehensive update in probably like 4 or 5 days, and I will talk to you all then. Thank you. Bye.